Let's break down where these protests are coming from.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, where are they coming from? George Soros. I love when people are... It'd be really funny if they were like, yep, George Soros is doing this. Because it's like, I'm Brian, kill me. Please, somebody. I'm Brian, please somebody kill me. And today I'm going to be talking about how these anti-Semitic protests are actually being sponsored by big Jewish donor George Soros, the puppet master. What a funny way. What a funny way that would be to just like, stop the anti-Semitism, stop the anti-Semitic hate. I don't think it's George Soros, by the way. And I don't think they're going to say George Soros. Just like from the network that brought you big Jewish donors are funding and facilitating America's great replacement. Here comes hours and hours of coverage about how how anti-Semitic these Jewish college students are. Like, remember, half of the coverage that they do is literally Jews are destroying the moral fabric of Western civilization. That is a one-to-one comparison to Nazi propaganda. That's it. That's literally what the fascists believed. That is literally what Fox News watchers believe. That's what they say. Okay, George Soros is, a placeholder for Jew. That's it. Anyway, let's keep going.
From who is funding them, where they started, and actually where the dollars are going. All right, well, let's begin. First off, they're everywhere.
And they're everywhere, Brian, but they're often under one banner. This is what to know behind these protests you're seeing. On-campus organizations, Students for Justice in Palestine. Brian, it's basically behind most of the major campus protests we've seen. And as I pointed out, as I mentioned, it's everywhere. It's all across the country.
Yeah, you got 200 plus chapters of various sizes. Smaller ones are over in Tufts, smaller ones over in Emerson, but bigger in the Ivy League schools. How do they communicate? You could guess it. They go through the...
Wait, I thought there was like a big shadowy mega donor behind all of this. It turns out they're just describing how college students protest and also how they communicate and organize. That's right, everybody. College students are on that tic-tac. Let me tell you, okay? They're saying ACAB, which stands for Assassinate Cool American Babies. If you hear people saying LOL, that means legalize opium legally. That's right. And they're doing it right in front of our eyes.
Go through the cell phone, go through text messages, go through certain sites. And these are some of the colleges that have gotten our attention.
Yeah, these are the notable chapters. These are the ones we're covering in the news right now.
They're talking about it like it's that map of active white supremacy hate groups. Bro, if this was a map of active white supremacy hate groups, they would be talking about how patriotic they are. I'm sure they have done a shit ton of coverage about like how woke and gay Media Matters is, or all these like right-wing tracker accounts are and right-wing tracker media operations are, for looking at a bunch of brave patriots, the Gravy Seals, doing what needs to be done and greatly overemphasizing or how much they're like hyperventilating about that sort of thing. ACAB, assassinate cute American babies.
Now they're making the most noise, Berkeley, NYU, Yale, Columbia. But again, I think the important point is 200 plus chapters across the country for Students for Justice in Palestine.
So they've been there. They've been simmering underneath, waiting since October 7th. There's been a lot of talk about the...
Yeah, they've been waiting. Ooh, they're waiting in the shadows. They're like, oh, I can't wait.
The pro-Israel because of the massacre they suffered. But believe it or not, if you go on TikTok, there are more things Stand With Palestine from October 7th, even the following week, than there was Stand With Israel.
So the big question is, well, who's behind Students for Justice in Palestine? Well, here are some of the groups funding that organization. This
My favorite is when, Wall Street Journal writes like insane shit. Welcome to Dearborn, America's jihad capital. And that's from 2024, by the way. That's not 2002. That's not 2001, which, by the way, they said the same exact shit in 2001 as well. Imams and politicians in the Michigan city side with Hamas against Israel and Iran against the U.S. Who's behind the anti-Israel protest by Steven Stalinsky? Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis and others are grooming activists in the U.S. and across the West. The Houthis, man, they're doing the dang thing. And I've heard from authorities that there's this guy named Hasan, which sounds real close to Hamas, by the way, having them Houthis on. He's finding the attractive Houthis and bringing them on the broadcast so they can poison the minds of the goddamn youth.
PAC stands for Westchester Foundation, headed by an anti-Zionist ex-Orthodox Jew. And then you can see they sponsor, Brian, all these different elements of SJP, Students for Justice.
Damn, he hit the hard J on that one. He's like, yeah, headed by a Jew. They're behind the shadows in the darkness. Folks, let's not forget. It is so funny, to me at least, that there are people who literally cannot comprehend in their minds. There are ultra-Zionist Jews out there who think that these dudes would not just, at the flip of a dime, at the tip of a hat, whatever the he's saying is, immediately turn those same crosshairs on them. There is nothing funnier to me than thinking that these dudes, these reactionary pieces of shit, would ever in a million years not turn on you. They are not on your team, big dog. This is why I always say, if tomorrow every single Zionist Jewish person in the United States of America turned around and became rabid anti-Zionists, okay? If you think America would not stop supporting Israel, you are delusional and wrong. That's why it's a laughable notion that people go, oh yeah, Jews have the stranglehold on the media, am I right? They control it. It's like, no, they don't, man. They don't. There happens to be aligning interest here. That's precisely the same reason why these guys are so quick to just also immediately arrest Jewish anti-Zionist protesters and subject them to the exact same cruelty that they subject the pro-Palestinian protesters that are of different backgrounds. Yeah, them Jews, they're behind everything, folks. Even, they're on both sides. They're controlling both sides of this Israel conversation. Here at Fox News, reporting live about anti-Semitism rising in America. Jews are controlling it. It's great, man. It's cool. Thank you. Thank you for this phenomenal coverage, Fox News.
And we've seen these groups out and about. We've seen them with signs, and we've seen some of their chants in terms of what are their resources when they go to jail? What are their resources when they get kicked off campus? Like Congressman Omar's daughter. This is where they can go. These are where a lot of the fun.
Bro, almost hit the Shahada on accident, dude. You went, Congressman, la ilaha illallah.
Funding is.
Yeah, they go to A-15 bail, legal defense fund. They're not only organizing, putting it together, but what happens to you if you're arrested at the protest.
Yeah, this isn't, Mom, I got drunk last night, I'm in prison, I got a drunk driving ticket. They know exactly where to go when they get themselves in trouble, and they know exactly their rights when they get themselves on campus.
Damn, that's really up that they know their rights, dude. Dude, this is just a glaring W for the pro-Palestinian students. You know what I mean? These guys, they're too smart. They know their fucking rights, man. It's really messed up. We should take their rights away. They're organized and they're informed, and we hate that. We hate that. God, I'm so mad right now.
And this leads to this.
Other funding, student governments, talking about how the protest fund is self-funded, American Muslims for Palestine. A lot of this is opaque stuff.
Student governments, when I was in college, they used to pick out stand-up comedians and when to appear and what venue to go. They're doing protests. Now, this might be the most important wall.
Well, this is off-campus stuff. So Students for Justice for Palestine, that's on-campus student organizations. Then you got stuff that's happening off of campus.
Yeah, now let's get to the good stuff. The real demons, okay? The real demons, Muslims, okay? Let me tell you. Yeah, sure, Jews are responsible for the anti-Israel protests as well, but let me tell you, you know who else is responsible? Them goddamn Arabs! Them goddamn Arabs, them Muslim mans, brother!
Like American Muslims for Palestine, the parent organization, informally, of SJP.
Right, and you see a lot of these lecturers hop on campus, they got to get paid, that's where the money comes from. We see a lot of their antics, like on Monday was Quds Day, they stopped the Golden Gate.
Monday was Quds Day. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, they were saying glory to the martyrs, brother. What the they were saying we will dismantle the Zionist entity.
Bridge. They maybe block traffic in your tunnel, in your area, to make what point? That they're powerful, that they have something to say? And Quds, Not a
brought them up.
positive organization.
Well, tell everybody, what is Al-Quds a reference of?
They're the outgrowth of
The Al-Quds Committee, April Death to America protest.
the Islamic Republic of Iran. The Al-Quds force is the one that kills our people in Iraq and tries to bomb them out in.
Kills our people in Iraq? Bro, what are our people doing in Iraq? I thought we pulled out. What the f do you mean? Excuse me? Why are our people in Iraq? What's going on there? Is anyone going to ask that question? What are they doing over there? What's that about? Okay, never mind.
Syria as late as 2 days ago.
So named after Al-Quds, the Al-Quds Committee is the one, for example, the protest you heard, Death to America.
Guys, you need to understand something. Many of you in the chat are woke libtards talking about Al-Quds actually means Jerusalem in Arabic. In Arabic, do you understand something? It sounds scary to me, though. Okay. Oh, Al-Quds simply means Jerusalem. Okay. Well, guess what? You know what it means to me? Al-Qaeda. That's right. Sounds quite similar to Al-Qaeda. And also, another thing that they're teaching our children in school, algebra. That's right. Did you know that they are teaching our children Islamic sciences in our schools, teaching them the number 0 and the number 1 and 2, teaching them algebra? I will not be having that. Hell no. Al Jazeera, Al-Qaeda, Al-Quds. Kind of f***ed up, if you ask me. We better stop that shit right now. No more numbers. No more algebra.
A chance, that's this group, who also has big plans come this summer.
The worst is yet to come for the DNC. In Chicago, plans.
Oh, they love that. He's like, oh, yeah, they're going to disrupt the DNC. It's like.
So already in place to create chaos in the streets, inside or out. And they're not pro-Republican. They're just anti-Democratic Party unless they change and become pro-Palestinian.
So that's the astroturf behind.
That's the astroturf? You did not describe. Bro either doesn't know what astroturfing means or just is, I guess, trying to act like this is astroturfing. I don't know, like misinforming their audience deliberately. He just described how all of these college campus students are literally communicating and organizing on social media, which genuinely is the exact opposite. Fundamentally the opposite of astroturfing. He described a grassroots movement and then just simply ended it by saying, and that's how they're astroturfing it, folks. He mentioned a bunch of self-funded philanthropic organizations that don't just work with pro-Palestinian activists that get arrested, but just across the board, like work with bail funds and whatnot, tied it all together and openly recognized that they were you know, organizing on social media, genuinely grassroots, only to turn around and be like, and that's why it's astroturf, folks. Come on, Hasan. Normally they'd say something about Jewish funding, but they're a little handcuffed here. I know. They still hit that, though. They still hit the hard J in the beginning of the coverage where they were like, it's a Jew that controls the pro-Palestinians. Westpac, run by a Jew. They just had the opportunity not to do that, and they still chose to do it, and I respect that integrity. Okay, anyway, let's see what my girl Kat is saying. Kat is, of course, Palestinian. She's a Media Matters person as well. She's dope. Let's see what she has to say.
You are missing out on some seriously unhinged coverage of these college protests. Student encampments are popping up nationwide, standing against the genocide happening in Gaza. And I'll tell you this, warhawks, and especially conservative warhawks, are losing their collective mind. So instead of my usual Friday recap, let's talk about how bad this rhetoric's gotten, because it's not great. Sentient hazing scandal Jesse Waters invented a completely new guy to be mad.
Sentient hazing scandal Jesse Waters. I love that. She watches Fox News 24/7 for brain rot maxing. Yes. I'm a fan of Media Matters, as you guys know. I have a lot of friends that work there. I respect a lot of the work that they do. There are definitely some Media Matters guys in the aftermath of October 7 that I was like a little sussed out on, but they've calmed down. Like they very quickly were like, okay, never mind. Yeah, no, Israel is doing some There were a couple where I was like, bro, really? Like, what's happening? You were progressive, but Kat is obviously Palestinian.
And don't worry, it's super racist.
Biden's making us pay Johnny Jihad's tuition. Johnny Jihad can just walk from Mexico to Texas, hop on a plane, and slip into the crowd on the Columbia Quad. They've been grooming little Johnny Jihads to burst into flames for
Johnny Jihads.
First semester. Kaboom.
Please, Mr. Jihad was my father. Call me Johnny.
Kaboom.
That same night, a guest made a really great comparison about these protests.
What we are seeing right now on our streets and on our campuses is an illegal occupation. Just like we were bombed by the Japanese in Pearl Harbor well into World War II, and that woke us up, we have been bombed, okay? And Americans need to wake up right now so
What is she saying?
there is a course correction because they are following the exact textbook.
She's like, we need to do what we did to Japan, but to our campuses, okay? We need to nuke these encampments. These encampments are doing a Pearl Harbor.
Like, multiple people are convinced these are being puppeteered by a shadow government.
Many are questioning who's organizing this movement, pointing out that these tents are pretty similar, right, at campuses across the country, even though they're hundreds of miles apart.
Why do they have all of them the same green tents? Who is producing this massive amount of literature?
You look at the tents, you can tell this is an inorganic thing. This is definitely a setup. This is definitely an operation.
You're telling me they all went and bought tents from a sports supply store? Wouldn't it make more sense if this was being run by Iran? And finally, Jesse Waters is convinced that only women are supporting Palestine, and it's because they're too
That's the best one. This is the best clip.
Females, and I think I can speak for the women at the table,
You cannot.
are generally nurturing people. And when their professors are giving them better grades for their social activism, they're trying to appeal to their teachers, and they've been told they're oppressed as women. And they identify with...
It's awesome because it's like, it literally is just like mental illness all the way down. It's just like hallucinations built on top of other hallucinations, built on top of other hallucinations. It's crazy. All right, The Walking Dead, the Telltale Definitive Series is on, baby. Are there jump scares in this? Bro, I don't like that. No, bro, this game f***ed me up, dude. This is not allowed. I just yo, I love the Telltale games. Honestly, they're fire. This is a f***ed up ass game, dude. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, bro! I didn't really think that it was gonna be this good. No! Double sex so ruined. Bro, I had like 3 revolvers, by the way. Why didn't I get one? Oh my god, Ben, you f***ing suck ass. I'm actually low-key shocked at how good the game is. And there's a train in this one. Oh my god, how could it get any better?
Oh,